Okay, so let's look at this problem, guys. And those who have solved it, yeah, feel free to post your answers, right? You can even mute me if you want, if it's distracting, if you're working on it. But here's how you solve it. So Minato drove 390 miles, right? So they drove 390 miles right over here, right? Let's say they start from here and they end over here, right? Now, what's going on? Part of the drive was along local roads where the average speed was 20 miles per hour. So why don't we take a local road right over here? Like the start of the road this was a local road, right? This much distance, okay? Maybe this much distance. And then what happens afterwards, the remaining part was on a highway, right? Something like this, as an example, right? It's possible. I can do it this way, right? Now here on the local road, his average speed was 20 miles per hour. So I'm gonna write down on just this piece, it's 20 miles per hour, okay? MPH, 20 miles per hour. And the rest was along a highway where his average speed was 60 miles per hour, right? Now, okay, now you got all of these two pieces. Now the drive took 8 hours, okay? And they were asking what distance, etc., etc. So remember, you're given the distance, okay? So what we've got to do, guys, is let's say the total drive took 8 hours, right? And this is the best way to do it. Let's say you drove for X hours over here, okay? On the local roads, right? And then for y hours, these are hours, okay? These guys are hours, right? And then you have your highway, okay? So let's now, this is the most important part of the equation, folks, okay? X and Y. Now Minato, let's say, look at this. The drive took 8 hours. The drive took 8 hours. So what's the first equation here? The first equation connecting X and Y, because X is the amount of hours you took to drive this much distance, right? It's going to be X plus Y is equal to 8 hours, right? Because you took X hours to travel here and Y hours to travel here, right? So that's good. And now the next one is 20 miles per hour. So you're traveling over here at 20 miles per hour and you take X hours. Think about it like this, 20 miles per hour, right? And you do this 20 miles per hour for 4 hours. What do you do? 20 miles per hour. So 1 hour, 20 miles. So 4 hours, 80 miles, right? So you're basically going to multiply 20 times 4, right? So the same way, because you've got X hours here, you're going to multiply it like this. I'm going to write this down over here. Okay, again, this is a harder problem. So 20x, right, plus 20x plus over here, 60 miles per hour times y. So 60y, right, is equal to 390. So guys, this is the distance formula and this is your hours, okay? So now at least try to solve this one. Let's see how you can solve this. Okay, remember, they're asking you what's the distance, right? So first find the hours, then you can find the distance. Okay, so how would you solve the simultaneous equation here? Right, so one way you can solve it is, let me just move this up over here. Probably it's a bit better to move this up here, right? I'm gonna move it up here, and then I'm gonna multiply this guy by, I'm just gonna leave it the same way over here. I'm gonna leave 20x plus 60y is equal to 390, right? And over here, I'm gonna multiply it by 60. So let's say I put 60x plus 60y, right? I'm multiplying everything. So 8 times 60 is 480, right? It's 480. You multiply this by 6, right? Don't worry, this is a harder problem. Well done, CG. Yes, that's it. Awesome. Awesome. Well done, CG. So you got this value. Now you're going to subtract, right? So you've got 60 minus 20, which is 40x. Again, guys, this is a hard problem. Take heart. It's going to be easier. The next few problems are easier than this, okay? So 40x is equal to 90, right? 40x is equal to 90, okay? Now, what have they asked? What distance in miles did this person travel, right? What distance in miles did they travel? The distance is miles that it traveled is 20x, right? Along these local roads, right? So the answer is 20x, right? But note that you've got 40x is 90. So what is 20x? 20x is just 45, right? You divide by 2. Yes, excellent. 20x Well done, Alicia. Ben, excellent. Yes. So divide by 2, and you immediately get 20x is equal to 45. Why do you multiply by 60? Over here, why do you multiply by 60? Because you want to eliminate y. When you multiply by 60, you get 60x plus 60y is equal to 8 times 60, right? Remember, your goal is to find out the x part. You have to eliminate this y. It's useless. They're asking stuff about the local roads here. So you're just basically solving this system of equations, and you're multiplying by 60 because you can then do 60 and 60 and 60 over here, and then subtract, and you cancel this out, right? That's why you need 60. And if you, well done, Mimi, yes, great. So perfect. So that's how you're going to solve it. Okay. So this is cool. Now, I know this was a harder problem. But let's see an easier problem. Okay. And the next one is going to be an easier one. Once again, guys, this video is being recorded. So you can, when you get the video, again, I'm going to email it to every one of you. If I don't email it to you, please let me know, okay? I might make a mistake because my subscribers will surely get it, but some of you free guys, I might just forget to email you. So email me back if you want the video recording, okay? Now, what's going to happen is I would suggest you solve this problem again, all by yourself, okay? But having said that, let's try this problem now. Okay, this problem should be easy for many of you. Okay, we've covered this quadratic equation type of a thing. Okay, and these are like, remember, this is problem number 26 of section 4. So this is already one of the harder problems, like the tougher sections, right? But try it. All you got to do is you calculate b squared minus 4ac, and then you got to do something special to it, right? And remember, it's ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Remember, guys, this is the practice session. Okay? I cover each and every of these problems in detail in our regular instructional session. So this is a private session. This is a practice session because we need to learn all of these problems, right? The recent problems. Okay, well done. Well done, Mimi, Adele, Alicia. Excellent, excellent. Take your time, guys. B squared minus 4ac, right? What is a here, right? Remember, compare this. This is 1. So take your time. A is equal to 1. B is equal to itself. Doesn't matter, okay? Whatever it is, right? And C is equal to 16, right? So now what you got to do is you're going to calculate this discriminant guy. B squared minus 4ac, right, is equal to 0. Right? Whenever there's only one solution, it means that b squared minus 4ac is equal to 0. Okay, don't forget this. This is so important. B squared minus 4ac is equal to 0, folks. So what do? You take b squared, right? You're actually asked to find out b squared. So now I think you can solve it. 4 times 1 times 16. So what is the value of b now? B squared, right? B squared is equal to, right? B squared minus 4 times 16 is 64, right? 4 times 16 is 64, guys. So b squared is 64. So be careful, okay? B squared is 64, and so b is equal to plus 8 or minus 8. Both of them work because both of them squared is 64. Remember, these are already harder problems, guys. We did the easier problems yesterday, okay? Because it was a Sunday, okay? Now it's time for the harder problems here, right? And you're not expected to know all of them. Well done, Ahmad. Yes, nice to see you. All right, so Giorgio, nice. So guys, think about it. B squared minus 4ac is what you need to use here, okay? If it's one solution, okay? I'm gonna write this down in detail one more time here, okay? Don't forget this formula. And it's all there in my cheat sheet, okay? B squared minus 4ac is equal to 0. That means there's one solution. B squared minus 4ac is greater than 0, right? That means there's 2 real solutions, okay? And b squared minus 4ac, the same b squared minus 4ac has been calculated here, okay, is less than 0. That means it's got 2 complex solutions, okay, or 0 real solutions, whatever. It's the same thing. This means the same thing. This means it's got 0 real solutions, okay? So be super careful about this. Kajal, nice to see you. Yes, b squared minus 4ac, don't forget this, the discriminant method of solving this, okay? So whenever they ask you one solution, but as soon as you see the solution thing, right, you need to remember, and it's a quadratic, remember you got to do the b squared minus 4ac. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on to the next problem. Okay, and all of my regular subscribers, I'm telling you, I think you need to solve some problems, right? Go to the College Board and just put in SAT practice test 1, SAT practice test 2, practice test 3, right? This thing's gonna come up, right? And then you gotta solve these problems. If you have questions, let me know, but they already have the explanations here, okay? I think you know what I'm talking about, okay? So try to solve the whole test, okay? Because it's a whole new experience here, right? So trying to solve the whole test. It's important for you to understand how to solve the whole test, including the reading part. All right, try this one, please. Yeah, I know schools are starting over, right? At least in the southern states here. So people are a bit exhausted over here. But anyway, so nice response. Try it. Every single one, right? Try to find it. And more importantly, try to prove it wrong. Try to prove this wrong. Try to find something which doesn't work here. Okay, work on it. Remember, this is just a fancy thing, okay? It's just a line with a negative slope, guys. So something like this. I'm gonna give you a hint over here. This is 0, okay? Now try it. So if okay, so let's try it. If A is less than B, right? If A is less than B, so what can you say? Let's say you want to say A is less than B here, right? Take A to be here and B to be here, right? Then this guy is going to be greater than this guy. Okay, that does make sense, right? If A is less than B, then this could happen, right? It can happen this way because it's a negative slope, right? You can also think about it like this. The slope formula, right, is important. The slope formula is the rise over the run. So this is the rise and this is the run, basically, right? So, well, anyway, I think the better way to think about it is A is over here, B is over here, and you can see this guy is greater than this value, right? So, but you can also think about it as A is over here, B is over here, right? So A is over here, B is over here. So that should work, right? This guy is always going to be greater than this guy. Okay, so that's why this is correct, right? This is correct. Now let's look at if A is less than 0, then FA is greater than 0. Okay, so that's why I give you the hint. If A is less than 0, right? If A is less than 0, take an example over here. Like if let's say A to be negative -4, right? Then this guy's positive, right? Because of the way I've drawn it. But what if this was -1, right? Then this guy is negative, right? So that's why this is wrong, right? Now, how about this? If A is greater than 0, then this guy is negative. Okay, fine. Maybe the way I've drawn it, but how about if the equation, and I know this part is good. This equation is good for these two questions, okay? Now let's look at this equation here. And again, you need to just develop some practice about these, right? Like, and remember, this is not the only time you can take the test. You can take your test again anyway, right? So here it is. How about this line? And all you got to do here is you got to disprove things, right? So now this is 0, but how about if I draw a line like this, right? Now if A is greater than 0, right? If a is greater than 0, let's say this was 4, but what if this is 2, right? If a is greater than 0, it's positive, then fa is less than 0. Is fa less than 0? No, right? fa is positive here, right? So that's why this is gone, right? So be careful. I know I gave you this one, but remember that was meant for this one. Maybe I didn't explain it, so my bad if I didn't explain this way, right? So remember, you only this one is true, okay? This is not true, this is not true, okay? This one is actually, you think about it for the advanced students, right? Slope, this is fb minus fa is the y2 minus y1, okay? And b minus a is x2 minus x1, right? Right? So yes, so it's, yes, so this one, only this one works, okay? Both of these don't work, right? So both of these don't work, only this one works, right? This guy, so let's think about it like this. The slope here is, you don't understand the whole question. So what the question is saying is it's defined for all real numbers, and this is a line with a negative slope, right? So all you got to do here is, I think drawing graphs is easier. Okay, drawing graphs is better. You can, you can think about a slope as well. It might be a bit difficult to think about a slope kind of equation. Okay, so maybe let's think about it like this. This question is meant to test your drawing ability. Okay, so think about two lines. Okay, there's one line, I'm going to draw it over here, and we're going to explain it a little bit more. Remember that these questions are relatively rare, but think about one line which is going like this. Okay, let's call this line y is equal to negative x plus 1. Okay, and draw another line, right? Another example of a line, which is y is equal to negative, y is equal to negative x minus 1. Okay, so now try to find, is this what happens in this kind of a line, what happens in this kind of a line. Okay, so the easy parts are these two where you can easily cross them out. Okay, so let's look at this equation one more time, and then let's move on. It's not such a terribly important question, but look at this one. Okay, look at, ignore the first part. Just look at the second one. If a is less than 0, then fa is greater than 0, right? What does it mean? It means that for all the values over here, right, these are the x coordinates. If the x coordinate is less than 0, then the y coordinate should be positive. Is it always true? It's not true over here, right? It's not true over here, right? It's if a is less than 0, then the y coordinate is actually negative here, right? Look at this example here. If a is less than 0 here, right, what do you get? Let's say you've got negative 0.5, right? So what do you get? So substitute x is equal to negative 0.5 here. So what do you get? Y is equal to, right? And so you can think about these answers here, right? If a is less than 0, I took a to be negative 0.5 over here. Okay, a is equal to, I know I'm spending too much time on this, but I think it's worth it. A is equal to negative 0.5. Then what do you think is y, or f of a? Y is equal to negative of negative 0.5 minus 1, right? Which is 0.5 minus 1, which is negative 0.5, right? So that's why this is wrong, because it's not always greater than 0. Here is less than 0. So that's why this goes away, right? Now, the same way over here, right? If a is greater than 0, think about these points, this point here, for this line, right? So you got to find a line where these don't work, right? And then this last one is kind of, think about it a little bit. No matter where you draw it, you can draw it here, here, or here. All of these are going to have the same, this equation is going to work for you. Okay, so I think that's enough for this question. I know this was a deeper question. Let's try to solve the next one. I think this should be easy for many of you. Okay. Yeah, this is like a roller coaster ride, right? Sometimes they're easier. Like yesterday, they were easy. Now they're kind of a bit complicated. That's okay. Just you gotta keep steady. Okay, try this. Remember, they're asking about distinct. Okay, be super careful. Asking about distinct x-intercepts. Distinct means same. So how many are there, right? Remember, the way we've done this before is the roots are going to be equal to 0, okay? So let's say I'm just giving you an example. X minus 2, x minus 4 is x minus 7 is equal to 0, right? And then therefore the roots are when you set x is equal to 2 or x is equal to 4 or x is equal to 7. But now let me ask you folks, what happens if you have x minus 2 times x minus 4 times x minus 4? How many roots do you have? You have 3 roots, but how many distinct roots you have? Here you have 2, you have 4, and you have 4, right? But the distinct are just 2 and 4, right? The distinct roots are just 2 and 4, okay? So be careful. The real roots are 2, 4, and 4, but they're asking about the distinct. So remember this important word, distinct, okay? By the way, x-intercepts means the roots, okay? So that's another important thing you need to remember, that the x-intercept means the roots. So what you're going to do, let's look at it this way. You've got b times x minus a times x minus a times x plus b times x minus b, right? This one here. So what you need to do is set this equal to 0, right? That's what the x-intercept means, okay? This is the x-intercept. Let's say something crosses it like this. That means the x values right over here, right? That means the y values are 0. That means that's why you set this y to be equal to 0, right? When you set it equal to 0, now you know what to do next. Let's find out all of these roots, right? X is equal to 0, that's one. X is equal to a, that's another. X is equal to a, that's another. X is equal to negative, I'm over here. X is equal to negative b, and then the last one is x is equal to positive b here, right? Distinct means different. Distinct means different. So here you've got 5 roots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But out of these 2 are the same. So therefore the distinct roots are 0, a, minus b, and plus b. Okay, 0a minus b and plus b. Okay, 0a minus b and plus b, guys. Those are the distinct roots over here. Okay, let's look at another equation. Oh, how is 0 included? Because look, it's something like this. You got x minus 0 over here, right? This you can write, this x guy, you can write it as x minus 0. This is 0. It could mean that x minus 0, right? So be careful about it, right? So yes, Alicia, that's a great one. Yes, especially for parabolas. If you got, right, you're thinking about parabolas. If you got x minus 2 squared, it can just go, it's just gonna touch it and go, right? There's like this calculus kind of thing. Yes, so it just touches it. But again, this is only for people who are asking about it. But remember, the question here is the more important piece here. Let's solve this problem all over again. I'm gonna set a problem, and I want every single one of you to solve this problem. Okay? I think you understand what I said. So solve this problem. I'm going to solve this. I'm going to set this problem for you, and let's see how many of you get this. Okay. So this is, I'm going to change this now. Okay. I'm going to change this. I'm going to say, right, y is equal to x. So I just want you to find out how many distinct roots are there. Okay. So cancel this out, and I'm going to write this down over here. Y is equal to x minus 1 times x minus 2 times x plus 1 times x minus 1 times x minus 0 times, so this is going to be, let's see how many of you get it, okay, x minus 2. All right, tell me how many you got. Well done, Adele, CG, Nadira, Ash, Thomason, Mimi, well done. Dev, yes. Giorgio, well done. Steven, well done. Alicia, yes, because the roots are 1, right? Let me just write down the roots. 1, 2, -1, +1, 0. Don't forget 0, okay? And then 2, right? And now what are the which roots are the distinct ones? So you got 1 here, good. You got 2 here, good. You got -1, that's the third one. 1, boom, it's right over here. So you can just ignore this, and you got 0, right? And then you got 2 again. That's why these are your distinct roots and these are your total roots, okay? So remember, distinct means separate roots, right? Something like that, okay? So nicely done. Well done, Kajal, Ben, Ahmad, Alicia, all of you got this, right? Remember, what if it was x squared x minus 1? How many distinct roots can you have here? Last question. If there was no x minus 0, would 0 be included? No. So I'm going to, this is especially for Ash over here. So I'm going to explain this, what I'm talking about over here. Well done, guys. So look over here, what I've written down is I've written down x squared, right? Look, I can write down x squared as x minus 0 squared, right? So that's the only thing you need to understand, that x squared is actually just x minus 0 squared, right? And then you've got x minus 1 and x plus 1 squared, right? So remember, this one means you've got 2 zeros, 2 0 roots. You've got 1 positive root here, and then what is it? There's a -1 2 times. But look, this is 1 distinct one, this is the second, and this is 3, right? Okay, so y is equal to 0. So in the original problem, and then let's move on. This is so enlightening, right? These are the harder problems, and I'm so happy many of you are now understanding how to do the harder problems as well. So no, this was the real problem. Okay, so this is the problem that was posted. Probably this is too big. Let's go to the next page. Over here. What are they saying? Okay, what are these guys saying? They're saying how many distinct x-intercepts does this, how many x-intercepts are here, okay? How many x-intercept? X-intercept, guys, means if you got a graph and you plotting it like this, x-intercepts means these points. I'm gonna color them again in a different ink. I'm gonna color them in orange over here, okay? These points, right? What's so special about these x-intercepts? It intercepts the x-axis, right? It intercepts the x-axis. What does it mean? What's the y coordinate of these points? The y coordinate is 0, always 0. Y coordinate is 0, right? Because look, it's the y coordinate, it's all 0 over here, right? Here the y coordinate could be like this point here, right? But all of these points have the y coordinate to be 0. What does it mean? You just set the y to be equal to 0. And now don't even think about this equation. Just look at it as an algebraic equation. Just look at it as an algebraic equation, and you know how to do it. This guy is actually x minus a, right? So all of these. And don't worry about the b part. B is given to be a positive constant, right? So take b to be whatever you want. Take b to be 2 and forget about b, okay? So b is not considered as 0. X is over here, don't forget. Look, there's an x here hiding. So be careful about that. Think about b as like, okay, I'll explain this one more time. A and b, right? So just take an example. A is equal to 1 and b is equal to 2. So how do you write this down? Okay, you got it. Okay, great. So it's 2 times x times, I know, thanks guys for your patience, but this is an important problem, right? And we, if you want the previous problems, right, definitely I can provide you, but these are slightly harder problems, so that's why we're paying attention, right? So look, this guy is actually written as 2 times x minus 0. So that's why this one you got 0, 1, 1, -2, and +2, right? So that's why these are your 4 distinct roots here. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on, guys, to the next problem. Okay, now this one should be easy, and I'm expecting most of you to get it in less than a minute. Let's see how many of you, but don't make any errors, okay? The more important part is that you get these answers correctly. Okay, let's see. Yes, if there was no x, Ash, there would be, the b doesn't matter. There was no x, okay? Then 0 wouldn't be included. B is just a number. And if you have more questions, Ash, email me. We can talk more. Email me. You have my email. Okay, here it is. Okay, So try to find this one. The hint is you expand this. You can FOIL it, or you can do whatever you want. I'm going to write down the expansion for this. It's x squared minus 6x plus 9. Okay, and so that's plus c here, and then you're going to equate it to x squared plus bx plus 10. Okay, take your time, folks. All you got to do is you got to compare the coefficients. Compare the coefficients. Compare the x coefficient b and negative 6. They should be equal, and 10 is equal to this whole piece here. Okay, I'm gonna write this down. Sorry about that. Remember, this is the x coefficient right over here, right? That means this guy should be equal to this whole thing. And then this guy here, this dotted box here, should be equal to this dotted box here. Okay, so write down those equations, write down both of these equations and try to solve them. Yes, well done, Mimi, Kajal, CG, excellent job. Well done, Ben. Good to see you solving these problems. And to my regular subscribers, to the people who have already subscribed and have been watching my videos, my sessions for a while, guys, watch some of my videos again. You've got all of them, right? If you have any questions, email me. And the more excellent, Thomason. Yes, that's the answer. Well done, Giorgio. Yes. Watch the videos, but remember, try to solve the problems, right? Try to solve them. And I've given you all of these problems. So remember, you already have this sheet over here, right? This has got many problems over here. This has got tons of problems over here, right? This has got tons of problems over here. So, so solve them, right? Okay, I'm gonna explain this to you, okay? So think about it like this, okay? Think about it like this, and if maybe you've attended many of my sessions, but you haven't seen this particular session, okay? So this is what I have explained before. Let's say you've got, I'm gonna take another equation, okay? Actually, why don't I take just this one? So I'm just gonna write down this piece here. I've copied down this guy. Let me actually write it down a bit better, okay? I'm gonna write this down over here. X squared plus bx plus 10, okay? X squared plus bx plus 10, okay? And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna write down x squared plus bx plus 10 is equal to this guy, which is x minus 3. Now, I think you need to memorize this, but I'm going to expand it. Once you FOIL it, don't worry about the foiling. I'm pretty sure you can do the foiling or the expansion of the square formula, right? It's going to become plus 9. And then I'm just going to copy down this plus c. It doesn't say, right? It says over here, are equivalent. Good question, Adele. Yes, it does say they are equivalent. Okay, so ignore this part. This is useless, right? It's saying the expressions this and this are equivalent. Equivalent means they're equal. What a fancy way to say equal, isn't it? Equal. It's like saying 2 plus 20 plus 5 is equivalent to 25. That's all they mean. It's equivalent. Yes, exactly right. They just try to trick you, right? Every book, every trick in the book they want to use to reduce your score, and we are trying every trick in the book. We are trying to read their book. I'm trying to read their book and give you the counter answer so you don't lose points here, right? So remember, equivalent means equal, right? There's a deeper meaning to equivalent, but for now, for the SAT, it just means put the equal sign, okay? Okay, so now all you got to do is you got the x coefficient here, right? Just compare this. So you're going to write down b is equal to negative 6. That's it. Remember, this is an important problem, right? Yes, do the problems that I've sent you. Okay, do every single problem. Okay, there's so many problems to be done. There's like 290 problems to be done that I've sent you, and these are very, very high probability. Guys, this Tomison is asking me, that's exactly what you got to do. Okay, do the problems I have told you, because those are from the past tests. Okay, so remember, these problems keep coming again and again and again and again. Don't waste your time doing problems from some weird book 2 years ago. Okay, these are very recent tests, and plus we look at the practice tests. All of these problems I've collected. Look, I've got the circle section over here. right? I've got the circles piece over here. All of these are the past SAT style problems over here, right? You need to understand all of this, and my students know this, right? Then there's a linear equation. This is such a massive one. You can see there's at least like 70, 75 problems over here, okay? Yes, Ben, you get the practice problems. You get the practice problems emailed to you after the session. Exactly right. Unless the session is a practice session like today, there's no real problems. But once we start covering, let me come back over here and explain to you what's going on real quick. So what happens, guys, is you can, let's say you're going to join. Last time we finished word problems, right? And we got the recorded videos of this, right? I send recorded videos of this to my subscribers who are part of the bootcamp, right? Next, what we do is we're going to cover percents and exponents very soon, okay? In the next few days. Okay, once you got percents and exponents, so the next piece, what happens is we take percents and exponents. I explained to you every single important part of percents and exponents, okay? So I'm going to show you how it looks like. We're going to look at problems which have appeared in the past tests. It's a back-breaking job to look at all of these problems, but I've done this for you over the years, right? So I know exactly what problems are important. So this problem had occurred in the test. Then look at this problem. This had occurred in the test. So all of these are these are of course exponents here, and then right, all of these problems are occurred, and then there's percents right over here after this. Okay, and we're actually probably going to look at a percent problem. So these are percent problems over here, right? They're asking what percents over here. Then this is a percent problem right over here. These are all percent problems over here, right? Percent problem. So I show you how to solve each of these problems in my practice sessions, okay? Once that is done in that session, then what we do is we look at, I give you these problems, you solve them for me. We have finished the word problems, okay? So we're going to start with percents and exponents very soon. We might have one of these, maybe scatter plots or something. Usually we follow this routine unless somebody has a very special request. We follow this cycle, right? So we finish this, then you're going to move to this, right? Maybe tomorrow somebody joins the rates and ratios. They're going to look at rates and ratios. Then, they join the boot camp. They do this, and then they come back over here again. So how does this program work? The program works like this. You are usually the sessions are on Mondays, Wednesdays, every week, Fridays, and then Sunday. Okay, these days 8:30 p.m. Eastern, because I'm living in New York City. I think it's much easier, right? Then Wednesday the same time, 8:30 Eastern, Friday the same time, and Sunday 2 p.m. Eastern. Okay, so these are usual times. Sometimes we might have to cancel a session or something, and then sometimes what happens, I provide a bonus session at 8:30 p.m. right? Like yesterday we had 2 sessions, and some of you brave souls attended both the sessions, right? And then we continue. So we have a session here, we have like an instruction session here. In between Wednesday and Friday, in case you want, I send you practice problems, so you do those, right? And then we do these instruction sets, and by the 5th or 6th set, right, you feel super confident. Then what you do, guys, then we also have these practice sessions where we actually do the test work, right? So you're seeing more and more of these tests right over here, these problems over here. So I solve these problems as well, but this is a quadratic section, right? So there's a quadratic piece over here, right? There's a quadratic section piece over here, which we put on over here. There's a quadratics piece over here, right? So polynomials and quadratics. So once you encounter that, you're going to get an understanding of that, right? This is actually a polynomials one, but the quadratics, the b squared minus 4ac piece, remember? So we've covered that b squared. Where's the b squared minus 4ac gone? It's over here. Remember this b squared minus 4ac. So that was in the quadratic section, and now you're getting this. Yes, exactly right. So after this, I'm going to send you a worksheet, right? And remember, guys, this is really worth it. Many students have increased their score, right? They were like 500-ish. They've gone to 600. Some of them have gotten to 700. I just had a shout out to Lana, right? They are from Armenia and they're working, right? They're not able to watch all of my videos or attend my videos, but they look at it and they just scored like a 710. They said they saw a big improvement in the score just working on these problems. So that should be a big motivation for you other guys, right? So who are working on them, work on the problems that I've given you, look at the tests, If you need more tests, I can provide them to you. And all of this, you get it for $95. Okay, so that's the cost of the course, right? Right over here. That's the cost of the course. It's $95. And that's, you get 20 hours, you get much more than 20 hours. And if you want, you can continue the next month as well, right? So you get something like 40 hours if you want. For the extra hardworking people, you can get a lot more. But for now, 20 hours is more than enough. All you need to do is practice, right? And that's 95 bucks. 95 bucks, one-time fee. Yes, one-time fee, 95 bucks, and that's it, right? And people are asking me, some people are interested. Okay, hold on. I'll give you the link, and then we are moving on. Again, my subscribers, thank you very much for your patience. I know this, we do it every time, right? Every week we do this, every session we do this. So here's the link, guys, in case you want to buy the course, right? In case you buy it, click on it. Once you click on it, you're going to come to this page over here. Okay, this page, you can give it to you can show it to your parents, and they'll be super happy to buy it, right? Tons and tons of parents, right? I just had, yes, one of the students who just joined, their parents actually told me, they thanked me. They said, Ash, thanks for this, right? My son loves it, right? I want to join it. So big shout out to Ben over here who just joined, right? So thanks for joining, right? So parents love this. They call me all the time, and students call me all the time. And yes, man. All right. So yes, they do it, right? From all over not only from the US, from pretty much all over the world, people are calling me, right? Like I said, people are watching these videos if they cannot attend. Okay, so massive improvement in your score. And most importantly, this is like a hands-on practice, guys. Hands-on practice, right? So all of these problems are here, and you're going to look at all of these sections. That's all you need. These are all the topics you need. You just need to drill deeper, okay? You just need to dig deeper on these. Okay, so this is good. Let's move on, and thanks for your patience again. Let's move on to the next problem. I know we've got to cover these problems. We've got about 8 or 9 problems, and we've got 30 minutes, okay? Wow, we don't have 30 minutes. My God, we have much less than that. So I'm going to speed up a little bit, but let's finish it. Thanks again, folks, for your patience, okay? So let's look at these problems real quick. Okay. Hopefully I answered all of your questions, but now it's time to solve problems. Okay, so this one, I think we finished this. How do we do this? We were here, right? B is equal to -6. You're just comparing these values here, right? B is equal to -6, folks. B is equal to -6 here. And then the constant, you compare to this. So you get 10 is equal to 9 plus C. Right? Super easy, like Ash said, right? They're just trying to trick us. They just give you all this complicated language. Actually, it's super easy, right? If they'd given you this, it would be so easy to solve it, right? All you got to do is this. And now B is equal to -6. C, you can see, is 1, right? And B plus C over here. So C is equal to 1. B is equal to -6. When you add them, you get -5, right? Some people have gotten this answer 20 minutes ago. So I really appreciate you waiting for your other study partners, right? So I know sometimes we got to wait, but I got to explain these problems a little bit more in detail. We won't move forward unless many of you understand this. And still, if you have trouble, email me. Okay, all of you have my email. Okay, all right, try this one. All you got to do here is you got to open this up like this. 1 over 3x minus k over 3. Okay, that's the hint over here for many of you. Okay, and compare this to this. Remember, it has no solution. No solution. Very important fact. We've already talked about it. Remember, we've talked about 0 solution, 1 solution, and infinite solutions. Remember the thing we talked about, the slope? Many of you have solved it before, right? Many of you have solved it before, okay? Remember, whenever they're saying there's no solution, if 2 lines, they don't have a solution, this is what it means, okay? This is what it means, guys. If they don't have a solution, that means their slope, right? They are parallel to each other. They're parallel to each other. What does it mean? The slope is the same, which means the x coefficient is the same over here, right? the x coefficient is the same. And then the y coefficients are different. The y-intercepts are different. So what they're saying here is there are two lines. One of the lines is y is equal to kx. And the other line, guys, is y is equal to 1 over 3k minus x minus k. And all they've done is they've equated it. So they've removed the y and they've said it, this is equal to this. Doesn't matter. It's the same thing. All you need now, the most important part is to find out that the slopes are the same. Okay. How are the slopes the same? The coefficient of the x is going to be the same. That means k is equal to 1 over 3. So k is equal to 1 over 3, and that's the answer over here. As simple as that. Okay. Okay. When you have zero solutions, remember, I've this one. If you don't know it, you need to attend my bootcamp and understand this. This part is in the lines and system of linear equations and the linear graphs module. That instruction hour, we've done it. This piece, right? The slope over here is going to be equal to this guy. Okay. No solution part. Yes. Some of you who don't understand this because you've never seen it before, the topic is coming. Okay, so this is just your first time you're attending it, probably your second time, right? So it's gonna come very, very soon. Okay, it's gonna be in this section over here. If you don't understand it, it's in the system of equations, because these are system of equations, right? Let me give you another problem, because I think some of you had difficulty. Okay, so I'm gonna invent a problem right on the top of my head. Y is equal to 4x plus 3. Okay, and y is equal to ax plus 2. Okay, ax over 2. Actually, I'm going to make it a bit complicated, otherwise it's too easy. Okay, now if these two this system of equations has zero solutions, then what is the value of a? Great, very good, CG, Thomason, nice, excellent, Ben, Alicia. Guys, those who don't know what's going on, right, who just joined it, don't worry about it. This topic is coming in. What does it mean? I'll explain in detail right now. We are just moving on because we got to finish this set, right, for the people who've already finished this, right, who already know what this is, and you're going to be learning it very soon. Okay, so what happens when you have zero solution is the slope is the same. Okay, so you put 4 is equal to a over 2, boom, a is equal to 8. Now here's the important part. I'm going to write down this equation. Okay, I'm going to write down a very similar piece over here, and you're going to tell me what the answer is. Okay, at least understand. You don't have to tell me. You see what I did here? Y is equal to this, y is equal to this. But now I'm going to write just this piece. 4x plus 3 is equal to a over 2x plus 2. I've done the same thing, but these two things mean the same thing, right? All I've done is I've equated them. And just think about this as y is equal to something and then y is equal to something. It means the same thing, guys. So the answer is going to be the same, okay? Which means 4 is equal to a over 2. Okay, you already know this. And whenever you see this and they ask you the solution is the same answer, okay? So with that, let's move on. We finished the 30 already, so we are now on to 31. Now, these are the grid-in questions. Okay, now this one, let's see how many of you get it. Again, this is just gridding in. Guys, whenever you're taking the test, be sure to know how you grid in, okay? Fractions, etc., all of these, okay? That's what YouTube is good for, right? Like those small minor things. You can go to YouTube and find these small minor things, right? These minor issues like how to use the calculator, what kind of thing I should do. But the main pieces you're not going to find, like how to actually solve these problems. Very rarely you'll find it. Okay, so get this answer. Wow, Mimi, before even I stuck it inside, she could read it and do it. Alicia, well done. Giorgio, well done. Nicely done, Ben. Okay, Thomason, Adele, CG, well done. Ahmad, nicely done. This is super easy. This will, oh, what does this mean? This one means that you got x minus 3 to the 4th power. So it just means this, x minus 3 times x minus 3. Good. Thank you for expressing that sometimes you don't understand, because then I can explain it. That's all it means. Is equal to 0, right? Now remember, okay, So what does this mean? Yes. So now what you got to do is each of these, right? Think about this. So x is equal to 3, right? And so x is equal to 3 is the correct answer, okay? That's all you got to think about, okay? That's all you got to think about. And remember, somebody's asking if this whole thing 0 to the 4th power, that means it's 0. And somebody's asking also for, like, let's say 10 to the 0th power is equal to 1. Yes, it all is in that exponent section right over here, right? That's going to really clarify. It's coming up, actually, it's going to come up very soon. Okay, next few sessions, we're going to start with that one. But so let's try this one. Okay, for those of you who have difficulty, let's try a very similar problem, guys. X minus 2 to the 3rd power, x minus 1 to the 2nd power is equal to 0. So how many x's are there? Okay, that's clear to you. Well done. So then you don't have to, excellent. Well done. Yes. So you've got 2. We just had a similar problem, right? So yeah, now it's clear for you. Now it's clear to you. Well done. Well done. Thanks, and thanks, guys, for so much of your enthusiasm, right? That's the good part about solving these problems together, because then everybody understands what's going on, and then I give you extra problems on top of this. So then you're extra prepared for the test. Okay. Now let's move on to the next problem. This one is going to be so easy. It's amazing. Sometimes the problems are easy, sometimes they're difficult, right? So now once you finish this problem, you really don't need to work on this. This is, I think many of you know this. If you want to work, feel free to do it. This is the next piece we are going to work on. Here it is. Super easy system of linear equations. System of equations. Very, very easy. Remember, they're asking you the value of y, x. So eliminate y. How can you eliminate y? It's staring at you right in the face over there. So just get rid of it and find the answer. Yes, CG. Excellent. Well done, Ben. Nice, Adele. Nice, Mimi. I might be mispronouncing your name, Adele. I think it's, yep. I apologize if I mispronounce your name. Ashley, well done. Nadira, well done. Mimi, well done. I think we just spoke on the phone earlier this day, right? So, but I apologize if I mispronounce anybody's name. My name itself is pretty difficult to mispronounce. Okay, so guys, look at this, super easy. All you got to do is you're going to write this down. Sometimes I like to rearrange these, right? I like to rearrange them like 8x plus y is equal to 5, right? 8x plus y is equal to 5, and then I write down 4x plus y is equal to 4. Right? I just put this guy below it, and then I'm just going to subtract it. Subtraction. You got 4x plus 0, because y minus y is 0. That's the whole idea of subtracting, is 1, and so x is equal to 1 over 4. Right? Super easy. Let's move on to the next one. And then we've got 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. Okay, we've got 5 more problems, and we're almost done on time. But I think we should wrap this up. Thanks for your patience. I think we should do this in the next 10 minutes. Okay. So try this one. Try this one. And Ash, if you want more problems, those are in my linear system of linear equations. Okay, I'll send them. Just email me. I'll send you a list of problems. Okay, guys, people are asking me more. They want more stuff, right? I've got tons of these problems. Okay, and this is for people who are part of my boot camp, right? All of these questions are right over here. Okay, so you get more practice solving this, right? They're right. All these problems are right over here, so you can solve them. Just write all of this for right. You join my boot camp, and you've got all of these problems you can solve. There's tons of them to solve. Okay, so let's move on here. Okay, now this one is an interesting one. I think many of you can do it. Remember, it's a ratios problem. Ratios problem is the hint for you. proportion, ratios, that kind of stuff. The next 3 problems are super easy, thankfully. Alicia and CG both vying for the first place on this. All right. So well done, both of you. So, okay. So how do you do it? How many more calories from fat are provided by a 100-calorie serving of the microwave popcorn, right? 100-calorie serving of a microwave popcorn. So let's look at it this way. Microwave popcorn, out of 150 calories, 90 are from fat. Right, so 150 calories, and guys, if this is the first time you're looking at this section, we're gonna do this very soon. Okay, it's coming up. 150 and 98 from fat, right? 98 calories from fat. So 100 is how much? Right, 100 is how much? So what you got to do is, this is a ratios problem. You just put a line over here, put an equal to sign, and then you get rid of these arrows. I kind of like these arrows because they make things very clear to somebody who's reading your work, right? And then you just cross multiply them. You're going to cross multiply them. You get x times 150 is 9 times 90 times 100. Therefore, x is equal to 90 times 100 over 150, and then you can see, you can do your calculation over here, right? You can do everything that you want. The answer is going to be 60 here, right? That's the amount of calories in this guy, the popcorn, right? Now I'll leave it with you to get the pretzels. Again, the pretzels is out of 120 calories, guys, you have 12. Out of 120, you have 12. So out of 100, how much do you have? Again, same deal. You can think about it in a variety of ways. You don't have to do the cross multiplication. Maybe you think about the scale factor, right? You can easily guess it. But for the people who are having difficulty, you just do the cross multiplication. X times 120 is 12 times 100, right? And so X is equal to 12 times 100 over 120, right? And you see this is going to be equal to 10, right? Now, what does it mean? This 60 is the amount of calories you're getting in a microwave popcorn, and 10 is the amount of calories you're going to get in the pretzels. So therefore, how many more calories from fat? How many more calories? And this is the word problem part that we've done before. How many more calories means you take this part, the 60 part, you subtract 10, and then you get 50. Okay, so that's why 50 is your correct answer. Well done, Mimi, Ben, Giorgio, Alicia, CG, right? So remember, watch this problem again. We are running a little bit out of time, and I did want to cover a few things, so that's why we are here. Let's look at this one. This should be super easy. This is a visual problem, okay? You might know the formula of a parallelogram, but this is a very visual problem, okay? So this next one. And we're pretty much done. Thanks for your patience again. Just 3 more minutes, and maybe 5 more minutes, and we should be done, okay? So try this one. Yes, excellent. And those who are given the test on August 29th, right? I hope you're going to take the test again in September, right? So what you can do is you can buy the boot camp right now if you want, and then you can always kind of use it for the next test, right? Once you buy the bootcamp, I can also provide you all the videos of the past sessions, right? As soon as you buy the bootcamp, just let me know and I can give you the videos for the past sessions. You can watch them one after the other and look at the problems, and that's going to improve your score, right? So you can do that way as well. But I would suggest you look at August 29, you do that, and then many of my students are actually taking the September, okay? So well done, Ahmad. Oh, hold on. So we haven't looked at this, right? So what are you gonna do here? Think about this, guy. There's 2 ways to solve it. I'm gonna give you the shortcut. Think about this. Think about a piece of chocolate, which is kind of like this, right? A fancy chocolate, and take this part and cut it out. Cut it out. So it looks like a rectangle, right? It looks like this rectangle over here, right? cut it out and then put it and stick it over here. Boom. Right? Maybe I didn't cut it out. Doesn't look the best, but you put it over here, right? It fits in and it becomes a rectangle now, right? Then it becomes a rectangle. And now you know the formula for a rectangle is just 5 here and 10 here. So the answer is just 5 times 10, right? So that's how you can visualize this problem, right? You can just cut it out straight up from here, right? You just cut it out from this part over here, right? And just stick it over here, right? You don't need to cut it. You don't need to cut it. The actual formula of a parallelogram is just the height times the base, right? The height is 5 and the base is 10. That's the formula you need to remember. Maybe in the SAT test, they might actually give you the formulas. Okay, let me see if they actually provide the formula for this. Maybe they don't. I keep forgetting what formulas they provide. But so the formula is half base times height, okay? So be careful. It should be super easy for you. Yeah, this good question. Somebody's asking like what it's the level of difficulty will be. It's going to be like a slightly different test. So be ready for the worst, right? You be ready for the worst, and remember you always have a great opportunity, right? Everybody's the curve will be lighter, like it'll be super easy. Even the test is difficult. I feel many people are not going to be able to answer it, so don't be nervous if the test is weird, okay? And then again, I think the September, you should take the September and then you should super score yourself. Okay, super score yourself on that. By the time you're already taking my sessions, right? This continues, right? You can look at my sessions throughout September, and then you're gonna ace your September test for sure. Okay, Ahmed. So hopefully you're able to get it. And guys who are having difficulty about this cutting problem, just email me and I'll explain to you what it means. But let's move on to problem number 36. Yeah, people's tests are getting canceled. So many of my students are saying this. You get canceled today, that's fine. It's actually a blessing in disguise. Yeah, you can work a little bit more. Now you found this boot camp, right? Okay, perfect. You got it. Great. You got this boot camp, guys. There's tons of problems. I email you to the level of spamming you, right? Every second day you get an email from me, right? Every second day, sometimes you get 2 emails from me. So that's meant to rev you up, and it's all about hands-on practice, guys. So hands-on practice, come over here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, and keep working on these problems, and then your scores got to increase, okay? People's scores have increased. They've gotten to some really good dream schools, okay? I'm still in touch with my past students. So they are so thankful, and the parents are thankful. So if you like this session, right, just click on the link over here. I'm going to post the link, and then you should be good. Okay. I know I promised to end the session soon. It is going to be ended very soon, but thanks for your patience. But I'm going to post this link over here for those of you who are interested in buying, right? So once you click on the link, you go over here, and then you can just click on this. Just tell your parents, and your parents are gonna love it. Many parents tell me like their kids are now studying, and thanks for that, right? 1 hour of focused study is better than like 5 hours of just fooling around, right? And just, I don't know what to do. This is giving you the straight path, the straight track on every single thing that you need to know, okay? That's all you need. You don't need anything else. If you attend my sessions and you do the practice problems, that's pretty much what you need to prepare on, okay? So this one should be easy. Yep, well done, Mimi, well done, CG. So well done, Ben. So the linear function is defined, again, this is linear equations. I'm just gonna solve it real quick. F50 is 2700. So all you gotta do, guys, is you're gonna put in 27,000, my bad, is equal to Cx plus D, right? So you're gonna put, wherever you see X, you put in 50, right? You just plug it in. So you get C times 50, which is a better way to write C times 50 is 50 times C, right? So 50 times C plus D. That's one equation. And the other equation, same way, you're gonna get F of 100. So I'm gonna write this down over here, 38,000, right, is equal to Cx plus D, same deal. I'm just gonna plug in the X over here. So you're gonna get 100C plus D. right? And boom, it's so easy now. Remember, those of you who've done system of linear equations, they're easily getting this answer. All you got to do is subtract it. You need to get rid of D because they're asking for C. So just simply subtract. You're going to get 50C is equal to, 50C is equal to whatever this guy is, right? So, so what do you get? 11,000, right? And now 11,000 over 50. So that's what we need to find out. 11,000 over 50, right? So this 0 goes away, and then this value is 220. Perfect. So that's the answer. Excellent. Well done. Well done, Mimi. You can do that one as well. Yes. You can do the slope way as well. So that's very good. So Mimi's got a nice way to solve it. Calculating the slope, because this is the slope, right? This is the slope straight away. That's a very good observation. This is actually the slope. So mx plus b, right? So well done. Let's move on to the last two problems here. Scatter plots, okay? Scatter plots. Scatter plots are easy. I think many people know how to do them. So I'm just gonna post it real quick. Oops, let me move it here. And then let me post this guy over here. Superb. That's what I'm talking about. So remember, if the SAT problems are difficult for you, it means the SAT problems are difficult for other people. So don't stress out. If the problem is difficult, move on to the next one, okay? Don't waste your time thinking about it. Oh, I know what Ash told me to do. Just move on if it's very difficult, okay? So just move on, right? To the next one. Well done. Wow, everybody's getting 15. So, right? So based on the line of fit, the estimated value for the 6-year-old computer, right? The 6-year-old computer, that's this one. That's going to be over here, right? So what is it? This one, right? So it's right over here. That's 15, right? That's the idea of the line, right? Of the regression line of the scatter plot and the line of best fit. So it's going to be 15. Don't forget, this is not just 15, is 15 thousands of dollars. And they're asked, what is K $1,000? So the answer is it's $15,000. So the answer is 15 is equal to K, right? That's the answer. Well done, well done, well done, well done. Everybody got this answer. Great, I'm happy. Now, the last question is going to be, the last question, guys, is going to be over here. Whoops. Now, this question is framed very interestingly, okay? But let's see how we do this. Okay, this question is framed interestingly. All you got to do is you got to count the dots. You just got to count the dots, okay? So here it comes. Give me 1 second. All right. You just got to count the dots and you should get the answer. Well done. Okay, all they're saying is, what is the number of computers for which the line of best fit, which means this guy, this line, predicts a value. The value is this line, guys, okay? This line is the predicted point, right? So for this guy is this point, a value less than the actual value. So this is the real value, this is the predicted point. In this case, this is the real value, this is the predicted point, right? So how many do you got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, right? So that's why the answer is 9. Okay, nice, nicely done, excellent, excellent job. Okay, so in passing, let me give you, thanks for your patience. I'm going to show you 2 or 3 hacks, right? For the new people, maybe these are new and interesting hacks. And then we are going to close the session. So I'm going to show you just 2 hacks, okay? So the real values above, yes, all of the values above the line, because their actual values are above and the estimated is below, right? That's why all the points above the line is the answer, okay? Now let me show you like 3 or 4 real quick hacks, okay? So 1 second, let me just pull this up here. One of the hacks, guys, is I'm just going to put in the problem and then you can solve it by yourself later, right? One of the hacks is, let's say you've got a bag and its cost is $400, okay? And if the price goes up, okay, by 40%, right? The very quick hack to solving this answer is, I know you can find it a variety of ways. You're going to do 400 times 1.4. Well done. Yes. And that answer, you're going to get this answer, right? Now, how do you solve a problem? Remember, this is super important. This has been asked many times, okay? If the price goes up by, let's say 20%, okay? And if the final price is given to be, let's say 600, or maybe 800, right? What's the initial price? So for that, we've got a formula here, which we work on. This is the old and this is the new. So try to calculate that real quick. I know this is taking a little bit longer, but I think this is a super easy hack. So the new is equal to old times 1.20, right? Yeah, see you, Georgia. See you, Georgia. See you then, okay? And so the old is equal to new over 1.2, right? And so that's 800 over 1.2. Remember, don't forget to do this, okay? You've seen this before, okay? Okay, yes, that's the answer. 800 over 1.2, right? That's your answer. Yeah, guys, be careful. These questions are meant to trip you up, right? So I've already told you the formula that you need to use. Old, new is equal to old times 1 point this. Don't forget that formula, otherwise you're gonna mess this up. Some people like to just do 80 times 0.8. Some people are doing 80 times some other value, whatever. I can't even imagine. Just be careful. Yeah, yes, be careful. Okay, new is equal to old times 1 plus this, and if it goes down. So now let me see how many of you can get this answer. Okay, this is down, let's say 40%, and this answer over here, guys, is let's say it's 500. Okay, remember, new is equal to old times, and now instead of plus, you're going to get minus 1 minus 0.4. Okay, 1 minus 0.4. So try to find the answer. I'm here. I'm right over here waiting for your answers. Okay, I know we've done on this is only for the people who really want to work on this. Okay. Okay, so be careful, guys. New is equal to old. So what is the new? The new is always the right-hand price. So 500 is equal to old, which you can take X if you want, but it's just old times 0.6. And those of you, I know some of you have just joined in the maybe past 3 or 4 sessions, right? We haven't done this. So you're going to see this. You're going to see this, all of this whole section you're going to see, but this is just a quick reminder, right? Because the test is coming up for some of you. So now you divide it. So you get 500 over 0.6, right? And that's 833. Right, 833 point something. So that's your answer. That's the first hack. Okay, don't forget this. This is important, right? There are some problems here like this one. Okay, percents. There's a problem right over here like this one. This is exactly the type of a problem where people mess up. Okay, so I've given you this to many of you, this sheet, right? This problem, and then there are quite a few other problems always also, and then this one as well. 20th, you use exactly this formula. Okay, now let's move on to the next hack, which is this. This is super easy. I've shown this to you before as well. Super easy. Okay, and we're going to be done with this. Okay, then we're pretty much done. This is the problem, and then I'm going to give you a problem to solve. Let's see. Okay, try this one. Yes, try this one, guys. Let me zoom this in so you can see what's going on. Okay. So the hack for this is you just gotta take the x coordinate and divide it by 2 and put a negative sign. Let's stick a negative sign in front of it. I'm just gonna show this to you. Sorry about the confusion. I'm gonna pull it right into the whiteboard. Okay, and the people who are solving it, they know what's going on here. Okay. This problem here. So what do you do here? You're going to take this x value, you write it over here and divide it by 2 and put a negative sign, and that's the answer. That's your x coordinate, and boom, that's the only one. You got it right, because there's nothing else to do. That's it. If you want, you can take this guy, 16 divided by 2, right? 16 divided by 2 and put a negative sign. That's -8, right? And so that confirms your answer. Boom, done, right? So that's one thing. This is called the h, this is called the k, and if you want the radius, it's called h squared plus k squared minus c. Okay, that's the formula for the radius squared. Okay, and this guy should actually move over here. So that's your c, right? Move everything to the left-hand side. This guy is called your c. H squared plus k squared minus c. That's going to give you your radius squared. Radius squared. Okay, that's your formula for the radius squared. Many of you know how to do it using magic square, like completing the square. That works as well. Okay, moving on to the next one. I think this is good. There's one quick problem I wanted to do. Let's see. It's probably over here. Okay, these are some great problems. 1 second. Sorry about that. Sorry about this. So this is about ratios, and this is absolutely the last problem. Okay, this is absolutely the last problem, and then we're going to be done. Again, thanks for your patience. I know so many of you are here. I'm super happy. Your enthusiasm makes me show all of this go above and beyond what was promised. Right? We covered the test, and there's just one important piece I want to show you before we end the session. Okay. Remember, this session is free session for many of you, right? Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. I'm taking too long here. Remember, this is a free session, right? So those of you who like it, you can join it. $95. You can you can watch it as many times as you want. Okay, even if you come back within a few weeks, it's going to be right months. I'm going to let you in again. Okay, and the price is going to go up very fast. Right now it's 95. By September, it's going to become 200. Okay, so be careful. If you want it, get it. Okay, now here's the last problem. And I'm directly going to show you how to do it. Okay, so this is how you do this problem. Okay, hold on. You can ignore this piece at the top. You can ignore that formula at the top. You don't need this formula. Okay, so try to solve this problem and see what you get as the answer. Let's put this over here. So what's going on is the volume of a right cylinder is whatever. Another cylinder is twice the radius and half the height of the first one. Okay, so well done, Stephen. So what's given is, and this one we covered in our geometry section, the volume of a cylinder is pi r squared h. Right now, the formula that you can use here is you can ignore all of these constants, which is the pi, and all you got to do is twice the r squared. Right, so you put twice the number over here. Right, so put twice here, so you're going to get 2. Right, wherever you have r, put 2, and then wherever you got h, you put half, because you told twice the radius, so you put 2 here, and then half, you're going to put the height over here, and so your answer is 4 times half, right, which is 4 times half, which is 2. Right, now this is your multiple. All you got to do is you multiply it with this 10, and you're done. Right, 2 times 10 is 20. That gives you the answer. There are other ways of doing it. The other way, the longer way, is like this, right? The volume of a right cylinder is this, right? Another cylinder is twice. So you think about it like this. If you have a cylinder with radius 1 and height 1, what happens if its radius becomes 2 and the height becomes half, right? Just think about it. This guy is pi r squared h, right? So it's pi times 1 squared times 1, which is just pi, right? That's the volume of this guy. What happens to this guy? You get pi r squared h, which is pi times 2 squared times half, right? Which is pi times 4 times half, right? Which is 4 times half is 2, so you get 2 pi, right? So what happens is 2 pi became 2 pi, right? So that's why the answer is the same, right? It doubled in value, right? So the 10 becomes 20. Okay, again, this is part of the geometry section, right? Many of you are getting it. I'm super happy you got it. So with that, we conclude the session. Remember, this is a cycle. We finished word problems very recently. We are going to go on to percents, ratios, and this. But if you have any particular requests, let me know. We can always do this. I'm going to post the link to the, yeah, you're welcome, CG. I'm going to post, you're welcome, Ben, Alicia, right over here. Okay, so you can sign up for the session here, and I've given the cheat sheet to many of you guys. So if you need a cheat sheet, if you need the recording, let me know. Okay, so yes, you're welcome, and have a good night and wish you the best. And for the remaining guys, I'll see you on Wednesday at 8:30. Okay, so have a good night.